All right, for this explainer, we're doing something a little different because the story we're covering isn't from the past. It's happening right now, in real time, and it's a moment that's been more than half a century in the making.
Yeah, I mean it. Right now, as you're watching this, history is literally being made. This isn't a recap of something that happened last week. It's unfolding as we speak, hundreds of thousands of miles from Earth. And get this, right now, there are 4 human beings in lunar space. 4 people. They are the first to venture this far from our planet since the Apollo era ended. 53 years. Let that sink in for a second. For most people watching this, no human has left low Earth orbit in your entire lifetime. Until today.
So, who are these 4 people, the ones carrying the hopes and dreams of, well, all of us? Let's meet the crew making history aboard their Orion spacecraft, which, by the way, they've named Integrity.
Now, what's so incredible here is that every single person on this mission is a monumental first. You've got Commander Reed Wiseman leading the charge. Victor Glover is now the first person of color to fly around the moon. Christina Koch, she already holds the record for the longest single spaceflight by a woman, is now the first woman to make this journey. And for the first time ever, we have a non-American flying to the moon, Jeremy Hansen of the Canadian Space Agency.
And the messages they've been sending back, wow, they've been absolutely breathtaking. Jeremy Hansen really captured that sense of awe, saying right away, you are humbled. The fact that 4 of us get to be out here just brings you to your knees. You can just feel the weight of that moment in his words, can't you?
And Victor Glover shared a message that really gets to the mission's bigger purpose, a message of unity for all of us back here on Earth. He said, this is an opportunity for us to remember where we are, who we are, and that we've got to get through this together. Just powerful stuff.
You know, all of this brings up a huge question, right? If we could do this way back in 1972, why did it take 53 years to go back? The answer is a story of shifting priorities, politics, and of course, technology.
So here's the thing. The Apollo program didn't end because we lost interest in the moon. Not at all. It ended because it was incredibly expensive. The political motivation of the space race was over and priorities on Earth shifted. So for decades, funding for human deep space exploration just, well, it dried up. What changed? A combination of renewed political will, incredible new technologies, and, this is key, crucial commercial partnerships. These new partnerships are a huge reason this is sustainable in a way Apollo just wasn't, and they're setting the stage for everything that comes next.
Okay, now, it's super important to clarify what this mission is and what it isn't. Artemis 2 is not landing on the moon. This is a vital test flight. Think of it as pushing the Orion spacecraft and all its systems to the absolute limit with a crew on board before we even attempt a landing with Artemis 3. And the way they're doing it is just brilliant engineering. The mission uses what's called a free return trajectory. Essentially, they fly the Orion capsule around the far side of the moon, and the moon's own gravity acts like a giant cosmic slingshot, just flinging the spacecraft right back on course for Earth. It's an elegant and incredibly efficient way to make the trip. But this mission is so much more than just a test. Today, April 6th, 2026, the crew of Artemis 2 will fly farther from our home planet than any human beings in history.
So let's walk through the timeline for today. At 6:44 p.m. Eastern, they'll go silent as they pass behind the moon. Just minutes later, they'll make their closest approach. Then, at 7:07 p.m., that's the moment. They will set the new record for the farthest humans have ever traveled from Earth. And finally, at 7:25, they'll re-emerge into the light and see a sight only a few dozen people have ever witnessed, an Earthrise.
252,757 miles. Just think about that number. That is the new benchmark for human exploration, the farthest we have ever dared to venture from the cradle of our world. And to put that in context, the old record was held for 56 years by the crew of Apollo 13. And remember, they set their record under the most harrowing circumstances, swinging way out into space just to get home. Today, Artemis 2 breaks that record as a planned triumph of engineering and courage. As they flew over the far side of the moon, the side we can never see from Earth, Christina Koch described this surreal experience. She said, "Something about you senses that is not the moon that I'm used to seeing. That is the dark side. That is something we have never seen before." For the first time, human eyes are seeing that landscape directly.
But this mission isn't just about breaking records. It's about creating new perspectives, just like the Apollo missions did for a previous generation. It's about kicking off humanity's next chapter.
In a move that feels almost poetic, the crew is attempting to recreate one of the most important photographs ever taken, the Earthrise.
That original image from Apollo 8 in 1968 showed our world as this fragile, beautiful oasis in the blackness of space, and it fundamentally changed how we view our home.
You know, NASA's official statement really captures the gravity of this moment. They said simply, "Today, for the first time since Apollo 17 in 1972, humans have departed Earth orbit." A simple fact that carries the weight of 53 years of waiting. Humanity is back at the moon.
So after today's historic flyby, the crew will spend 3 more days traveling home before splashing down in the Pacific Ocean. So as you watch these events unfold, take a moment, because years from now, people will ask this question: where were you the day humans went back to the moon?